These should help you with your studies, dear.
Hey, welcome back to StarWars.com. I'm Dave Filoni, Supervising Director of Star Wars The Clone Wars, and I'm here to answer your questions about Season 1 or 2 of The Clone Wars. So let's start with a question from online Sith Grenadier, I think. Wanted to know about some of the clone helmets, specifically the ones in the Landing at Point Range series, where they kind of got the big ear muffs on the helmet. You also see those clone trooper helmets in the Invisible Ship episode Cat and Mouse. What are those guys all about? Well, I'll tell you. The first thing is the nickname I have for those helmets on the crew is the Leia Trooper, because it looks like they've got big Leia buns on their helmet. The reason that those clone troopers were designed was originally they were communication troopers. They were guys that were in the patrols, in the platoons, that were in charge of all the communications. He had a backpack, an original backpack with a mic on it and a crank box, and it looked like what old World War II communications officers carried around, crank up the telephone and contact back to command. It was written in the script that way, but at a certain point, George and I were kind of looking at it and saying, well, we always see everybody just on their communicators. We see Commander Cody in Revenge of the Sith on his holo communicator. Why do we need these clone troopers anyway? And it was pretty critically late in the game when that came up. And George just decided, no, this isn't working. I don't want to do this. And what we ended up doing was taking the antennas. There actually used to be little antennas that came up out of those big earmuffs because they were, just like giant headphones. We took the antennas off. We took the backpacks off of them. And we turned them into more like a preceding commando type trooper. They were like a special ops then trooper, and all under the direction of Ki-Adi-Mundi. So that's what they became. They got all painted orange for Geonosis with different markings for Ki-Adi-Mundi's group on them. And then we reused them as, again, special ops troopers on the Cat and Mouse episode because, they looked like they would be special troopers for that kind of ship, and we painted them black and gray. I'll point out something interesting there, a little snippet, is that if you look in Cat and Mouse, some of those clone troopers that have the special ops helmets are actually the red-orange troopers from Geonosis. When the Overseas Studio rendered them, they accidentally left the orange texture on some of the shots. And by the time when we caught it, when the shots came back in, there were so many shots to do and so many complex explosions and effects that they didn't want to re-render. There wasn't time to re-render, so we just color corrected them in a process where we actually stripped the orange color off of them in the render later in post, and they're gray. But you can see Ki-Adi-Mundi's kind of viper-like forked tongue patrol symbol on some of those clone troopers, and that's one of the things that you can, a little thing to look for in the episode that we corrected. Caught late, but, corrected well enough for the episode. So, there's some information on that type of helmet. Sith Grenadier,